Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero, over the head of Jenks, Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, break free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the post, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal achieved. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. Bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it through to Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, guys. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. If you want to follow me, just me personally online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I tried to do. These damn hackers got in the way. I tried to make it one handle. But unfortunately, my Facebook account was jacked. Still don't have access to it. And that's Shawn.Sierra.2025. My Twitter account is now at ShawnSierra33. But Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok, they're all at the Shawn Sierra. Now, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment there. It'll come up here on the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. Like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it. Just bring it. Let us check the chat, because the chat is jumping. It is jumping. Cornelius Squall's checking in early. He goes, top of the morning, Shawn Sports Zoners. The Underwear Olympics are over. Let the real football begin. Yes, they are popping pads as we speak, baby. I love it. Yes, Cornelius, happy birthday. Your birthday was over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Happy birthday to our man, Cornelius Squalls, in the house. My man, Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. Junior, what's up, buddy? How are you, man? Appreciate you tuning in as always. Mr. Southside himself. Damn you, Michonne. We had burpees this morning, you son of a biscuit. I was cussing you out, man. Terrible. What up on a House Music Monday morning? Bear down, Southside. Stand up, FGB. Wow, this is high praise. High praise from a lifelong diehard Cub fan. It says the White Sox are for real. I done did told you, but you ain't listen. Cornelius said, top of the morning, Armando. Yes, I did. I truly appreciate you and Patty wishing me a happy 72nd trip around the sun. Damn, 72nd, man. You look good. I remember when we met at Output. Dante is in the house. Dante, Purify, Superback, bear down. Yes. No, we only had 24 It was burpee box jump overs today. So do a burpee in front of a box, jump on the box to the other side, burpee, jump back onto the box, hop back over to the other side. It was ridiculous. I thought of you and I was cussing you out every single rep. Listen, I got a great show. I'm fired up. Excuse me. At 10 o'clock, my man, Cole Noble from A to Z Sports is going to join us. We are going to talk Bears. I'm fired up. Fired up because as we speak, the pads are popping. As our coach, many of our coaches used to say, today we're going to separate the men from the boys. First day of popping, a pad popping. I love it. I'm fired up. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. It is now we can start to make some assessments, some legitimate assessments on this team. With the left tackle position, with the defensive tackles, with the center position, a lot of things become clearer once the pads come on. And everything's not going to be decided today, but today's the start of it. And I, like many of you, are fired up to see it. All right? I'm fired up to see it. I loved first day of pads as a player. I loved first day of pads as a coach. As a player, I loved it because now I get to really show what I can do. Okay? As a coach, I got to see kids in that same mindset. Show us what they can do. Show us what all the off-season conditioning did, the weightlifting program, the speed training, the plyometrics, all those things. They want to show those off. They want to put them on display, and also being the strength and conditioning coach, I wanted to see it for my own vanity as well. Like, okay, this kid. Look at these kids are bigger, stronger, faster, and I felt good about it because I was a strength and conditioning coach as well. So a little self-centered, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yes, today is. It's a beautiful day. Okay. And I think Ben said they're going to ease into it. Everything's not going to be live, which I understand. You don't just go from 0 to 100. Probably do some thud, some good thud. Yeah. And they'll probably, I don't know. I'm not sure. But Ben Johnson spoke this morning and address the media on how they're going to do it. So it's today. To borrow the words of the poet laureate himself, Ice Cube, today was a good day. My guy Junior says, I couldn't wait to go against the guys that thought they were all world in shorts and didn't do a thing in pads. Yeah, I hated those guys. I hated practicing against those guys. The T-shirt Olympics, I hated that. They were running around making all those tackles, stopping everybody, busting all the plays, getting by the lineman. And it's like, it's a whole nother story when I did the shoulder, Papa. When I dip this shoulder or this shoulder, either one, it's another story. We're going to see how much you like contact and how much you like being around the ball when I dip and explode this shoulder into your face mask. But then we'll see. Then we'll see. Let me see you bring me down then. Okay? Because it's going to be anger issue released. Anger issues activated. I'm telling you. And you know what? Big shout out to Coach Angston. God rest her soul. Coach Angston, after my freshman year, he was our freshman coach. And after my freshman year, I was a fullback. He said, if you're going to be You're going to be carrying the ball a lot and blocking people because you need to make sure you have strong shoulders. So he put me on. So he gave me some extra stuff to do for my shoulders. And then he asked me, he goes, "You know how to swim?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Swimming is the best thing you can do." And we were at the old St. Rita. We didn't have a pool then, but I had, I knew people with a pool and I would do stuff like that. Not as much as I did in college and in my professional, semi-professional career. I swam more in those because I had access in the car and everything. But in high school, whenever I could, I'd get to someone's pool and do, or Gage Park or something, anywhere I can kind of swim some laps. And my shoulders have always been very, very, very strong because of Coach Angston, and it did me well throughout my entire playing career. So yeah, I had no problem seeing a dude coming. Even to this day, people are like, "Wow." Like, wow, that was nuts. So we'll do in CrossFit. I'll military press like 135 quick. 185 is you see me working. 225 is a struggle, but that's just standing there, military pressing, no dip, no explosion, no nothing. So I still have very strong shoulders, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, anger issues activated. I'm telling you, that was it. Oh man. Listen, let's get it cracking, baby. Guys, you know how we do the first segment of every show. It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See, which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? You know where we're going. Stop playing. Stop playing like you don't even know. Stop playing like you don't even know. The good guys from the South Side, and they were well represented down in Tampa. Ooh, Charlie, they were well represented. The good guys put an ass whooping on the Tampa Bay Rays yesterday, 9-1 to win the series. Anthony Kay was on a bump. He got the W. He's 8-5 on the season. He went 6 1/3, 7 hits of scoreless baseball, 1 free pass, 3 punch outs. Pereira, remember I was talking so much about this guy the other day, about this guy's wild. Everson Pereira, he's wild. He swings at anything, and I was so disappointed, so frustrated with him. Guess what? He goes and has a nice day yesterday, 2 for 4, a double, his 5th of the season. He also cranked out his 4th homer of the year, driving in 4. His 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th RBIs on the campaign, Miguel Vargas. But a Miggy bomb himself. He was 1 for 5 with a homer. His 24th, driving in his 65th and 66th ribbies of the year. Another Benny bomb. Andrew Benintendi was 1 for 4 with a homer, his 12th of the season. It was a solo shot, driving in his 57th RBI on the campaign. This says a lot. Okay? This says a lot. And I'm thank you, Junior, for saying what you said about, the Sox. And I know it's tough for you because you're a Cub fan. It's like it's tough for me when the Cubs are doing good and I have to say something nice about them. But you go into the team, you go into the house, the backyard of the team with the best record in the American League, and you hold them to 1 run each game. You hold them to 3 runs the entire weekend. The Sox put up more than that in an inning. You hold the best team in the American League to 3 runs, 1 run a game. Was it 9-1, 8-1, 9-1 on Friday? We lost 1-0 on Saturday, and then 9-1 yesterday. All I got to say is that's some phenomenal pitching. That is some amazing pitching to hold that team in their house to literally one run game for the weekend. My hats go off to them. Great job by that pitching staff. Great job by the defense. Great job not giving up extra outs, not extending an inning to the team with the best record in the American League. The White Sox went down to Tampa and made a statement. They made a statement. Everyone talking about, oh, wow, this next stretch of 13 games is all teams over 500. Well, the White Sox said, I got something for you. You split with the Yankees 2-2. Good. Then we go into the team that's better than the Yankees, who lead the Yankees in the AL East, and we take 2 out of 3 in their house. That's a yeoman's effort. That's a yeoman's effort. So we're 4-3. Did we just stay around 500? I'm good. I'm really, really happy with what the boys are doing. And it just seems like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whose turn. They just say, my opportunity, my time is here to help the team. And they come through. Now this continues their stretch. The next top of the morning topic. They travel to Beantown to Boston over there in Wicked Pissa. They travel to Beantown tomorrow to face the Red Sox. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Chicago Sports Network or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. The probables for tomorrow's game. For the good guys, Davis Martin is on the bump. He's 9-5 with a 3.62 ERA. And for the Carmines, Boston Red Sox, Patrick Sandoval is on the bump. He's 0-0 with a 3.32 ERA. Really proud of the boys of my White Sox this weekend. That was a tough one. Okay? But there's no rest for the weary. The Boston Red Sox are probably the hottest, not probably, the Boston Red Sox are the hottest team in baseball. They just had a 15-game win streak. So you got to go into their house. Okay? But if the Sox continue to do what they're doing, and that is good at bats, go up there with an approach, stay disciplined in your approach, key hits, do not extend innings for the opposition, no errors, no mental mistakes, fundamentally sound baseball. They're going to continue. They have a good shot of taking that series as well. And our boy Scott Merkin. What does that say? Where is that? No. Damn it. I wrote, shoot. Scott Merkin wrote, big shout out to Scott Merkin. White Sox win 9-1. They are now 4-0-1 in their last 5 road series. What do we tell you? When the Sox start figuring it out on the road, because they had a great record at home. When the Sox start figuring it out, just go 500. In their last, they're 4-0-1. 4-0-1 in their last 5 road series. That's not 500. That's not 500. That's about 666. And they are 10-6 in their last 16 games away from the rate. Okay? 10-16. They outscored the Rays 15-3 over the weekend, and the Rays scored 1 run each game, 2 on solo homers. This team is putting it together. They're putting it together rather nicely. Rather nicely. I didn't see. Let me see, Ben. The guy I'll check is this. Let me see. I'm looking to see. I'm surprised Brad didn't say anything about it. Ben Johnson, here's Ben Johnson's practice schedule for the 4 practice block. Monday, full pads. Tuesday, full pads. Wednesday, shells. Thursday, full pads. He says Kyle Mononga in pads on the practice field this morning. Maybe he's eased back in, but Mononga is going through drills now. So nothing yet. I didn't hear anything yet of of Kobe Bryant going down. I didn't get it. I don't have any of that of anybody at camp at practice. So we'll see. Lovette Lee is in the house. Good morning, Ma. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And Mr. Smokefella himself, Ben Maul. He said, I'm hearing Kobe Bryant went down in camp, possible knee. Anyone got a vacation? That's true. Yeah, I didn't see it in Brad Biggs. I didn't see it from Herb. The only other person, I shouldn't say the only other person. Two minutes ago, you're right, Ben. According to Courtney Cronin, Kobe Bryant got hurt during one-on-ones and was taken inside. Bears are beginning another team period and opening their base defense with Cam Lewis at safety. Without Bryant, Kobe Bryant, and Elijah Hicks, who's on the pup list, Bears are thin at safety. Also, Braxton Jones is running with the ones. Karana Magaji with the twos. And Jedrick Wills is with the threes. So, yes, you did hear correct, Ben. Well, the White Sox do not rest on their laurels. We'll get to the Bears in a moment. The White Sox do not rest on their laurels. We anticipate them making some moves because today is the trade deadline for Major League Baseball, 5 p.m. Central. The White Sox wasted no time. The White Sox, they brought in Luis Castillo, a right-handed pitcher, veteran with playoff experience. Just what you're going to need down the stretch. Now, he was having a rough year so far in Seattle. But you know as well as I do, a change of scenery, when you're in a playoff run, that has a way of reinvigorating a player. Plus, his playoff experience is what the White Sox are going to be leaning on. Okay? His playoff experience. But it doesn't stop there. But wait, there's more. This morning, traded for Huáscar Brazoban from the Mets. This is a nice pickup. This is a nice pickup. Listen, per Ken Rosenthal, the White Sox have acquired Huáscar Brazoban from the Mets. Brazoban has a 2.56 ERA with a 1.01 whip. He's in the 99th percentile of barrel percentage allowed, 99th percentile in average exit velocity allowed, This guy seems like a great pickup for the boys. Coming off the bench, a reliever. When you are in the 99th percentile of barrel percentage allowed and average exit velocity allowed, guys are not hitting your stuff. They're not teeing it up well at all. That's broken bats off the end of the bat, frustrated batters. I like it. I like it a lot. Patty Lara's in the house. Says Happy House Music Monday. Theo, Shawn, and chat. Monica must be watching, and Jeremiah. I love it. Thank you for checking in. Appreciate you. The next top of the morning topic. Cubs. Yeah, I was talking to one of my Cub fan friends at CrossFit this morning. He was mad as a mother Hubbard. The Cubs fall to the Yankees 2-1 and dropped the series 2-1 as well. Colin Ray was on the bump. He got the loss. He's 8-8. He went 6 innings of 3 hits, 2 earned runs, free pass, 7 punch outs. Michael Busch was 1 for 3 with an RBI, his 60th, and Seiya Suzuki was 2 for 4 with a double, his 19th. But the thing that people were pissed about, the Cub fans were pissed about, was it the eighth inning? When Nico Horner is up to bat, he has a 3-0 count, bases loaded. Ball 4 comes, the ref calls a strike. And you can tell it was over the line in the left-handed batter's box. It came over the inside line, which is nowhere near the plate. Nico Horner did not challenge. He would have won that. He would have won that challenge, been walked, drove in a run, and would have tied the game. And then whatever happens after that, who knows? But the next pitch, he flies out to center, ends the threat. See, this is why you hold on to challenges, at least one for late in the game. That was the most opportune time for a challenge, especially when you know it was a ball. You know, refs or umpires, they make mistakes all the time. A lot of times they'll expand the strike zone, up, down, in, or out. And when you challenge, it's by the book. You see how much it missed. You know, you've seen umpires call strikes, batter challenges, and it misses by 0.1 or 1/10 of an inch. It misses the strike zone, and it's a ball. Why waste it? That was a key moment of the game where you could have tied the game, and at that point, you're still up, bases are loaded. I know there were 2 outs, but you tied the game, bases loaded. Now you got a lot of momentum, and Wrigley is rocking. Wrigley's rocking because you just tied the game with the Yankees with a chance to win the game and the series. Tough call. Tough call. I would have done it. I would have challenged, but hey, it wasn't me. I wasn't in that position. My man, King Booker World, checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. No rest for the weary. The Cubs, man. Woo, Charlie. The Cubs welcome the Dodgers to Wrigley Field today for 3. For a 3-game set. First pitch is at 7:05 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the Marquee Network or listen to it on their flagship station, 104.3 FM or 670 AM, The Score. The probables for today's game for the Dodgers, Justin Robleski, 11-2 with a 2.88 ERA going up against Matthew Boyd. For the Cubbies, he's 6-1 with a 3.41 ERA. Are the Dodgers the new evil empire? Are they the new evil empire? Because they are doing what the Yankees used to do back in the 2000s. They're trying to buy the World Series. Because if you didn't hear, Tarek Skubal was traded to the Dodgers. Yeah, like they need more. So what they're doing is they're deferring all this money to these players, and the players love it. The players love it. You know why? First of all, you push the tax liability down the road, but also when you're done playing and you're retired, you're still getting money. AKA Bobby Bonilla. I was listening to Mully and Hall this morning coming back from CrossFit, and they were saying that the Dodgers have $1 billion in deferred money. It doesn't start to get paid till like 2039. That's another 14 years. You just start paying, man, later down the road. Will Sox do something like that? Could be one of the reasons there could be a work stoppage. Because I can almost guarantee you there's going to be a work stoppage. A lockout next year. It's going to be crazy. Well, let me tell you something. The Cubs were not idle at the deadline. To this point, Cubs made a move as well. The Cubs traded for right-handed pitcher Kevin Gausman from the Toronto Blue Jays. If you're a Cub fan, you can only hope that there's more coming. So you're out of the Tarek Skubal sweepstakes, but there are other pitchers that you can get that will be very, very helpful to you down the road. Kim Booker Girl said, what did I say? I can't stand the Dodgers. Everyone get a Bobby Bonilla deal. You get a Bobby Bonilla deal. You, Bobby, get a Bobby Bonilla deal. Everyone gets a Bobby Bonilla deal. More pleasure. I'm looking to see if there's any new people checking in the show, but everyone's just extending gratitudes and salutations, greetings and salutations amongst the chat members in the group. The Sky hosted the Phoenix Mercury tonight at Wintrust Arena. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on the USA Network. Is it me or they're getting more and more? Oh, you can also catch it on the U as well. On the U and USA. Let me change that. Is it me or does it seem like they're getting more and more channels to watch the WNBA? I caught a WNBA game yesterday. I hope you guys had a great weekend. I did jack shit yesterday. All right. I went to CrossFit. I didn't think I was going to go because I had a few drinks. Went out to dinner with my cousins on Saturday. Went to a house music festival after with my cousins. Had a few drinks. So I didn't think I was going to make it to CrossFit. I did. But I came home and did absolutely nothing. So I got to watch a WNBA game, the Fever versus the Indiana Fever versus, God bless it, who was I watching? Oh, the Lynx, the Minnesota Lynx. And Olivia Moore, who is a beast. She is a beast. Yes. I was watching that. My White Sox. Yeah, that was crazy. Oh, yeah, Ben, Minnesota Indy, WNBA was off the chain. Yeah, it was. Olivia Moore is the real deal. The real deal. She's got a little attitude about her, a little swag. I like it. Caitlin Clark was draining threes. She needed to be a little more proficient. But that was one heck of a game. That was one heck of a game. But listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to welcome our guy, Cole Noble from A to Z Sports. And we're going to talk Bears football. As today, they began their first padded practice of the year. I don't know about you guys, but I'm fired up. Fired up for Bears football. Football season is here. And the cool part about it is that now, as Sox fans, Cub fans, you've had this for a while, but like, we get to enjoy our team. We're not sitting there waiting, man, when's training camp? When's training camp? We're looking at it, but not nowhere near as much as we did before, because we got a baseball team that we're looking at. We got a baseball team that we're cheering for. We got a baseball team that we're going to visit when they're averaging 25, 30,000 people. They're averaging 25, 30,000 people on a Monday, on a Tuesday. What the hell is wrong? That's never happened for the good guys on the South Side. 25, 30,000 on a Monday or Tuesday? And it ain't the $5 menu on Tuesday. That's for damn sure, although that's very enticing as well. Let me tell you. Me and Emilio, we cleaned up on that $5 Tuesday a couple weeks ago. I ain't going to lie. I had the pop. I had the hot dog. I had the nachos. He got some beers. Telling you, the $5 Tuesdays, $5 menu Tuesdays that's the lick right there. But that's not going to bring in 25,000 people. You know what's going to bring 25, 30,000 people? The way the White Sox are playing. I'm sorry, the way the first place White Sox are playing. God. That made the summer go by quicker. But now, football season here. We're going to talk to our guys, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushroom.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe. But some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though.
Welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those tips courtesy of the Chicago Bears. That was camp. I'm fired up. I'm fired up. You saw Kobe Bryant, who collected an interception off of Caleb Williams. He went down today, according to Courtney Cronin, Adam Hogue. He went down in one-on-ones. So we will get a report on him later. Hopefully it's nothing serious. That's the one thing that really stinks when you get a free agent, a high-priced free agent, and he goes down. You know, you never want to see anyone injured, but let's be honest, there's also the money factor that's involved as well. Okay, you got a guy that you paid a lot of money, and he goes down. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. All right. Well, our next guest is a good friend of the program. You've seen him on here plenty of times. He's trying to get into the my man's in them category. He's in that my man's category, but he ain't my man's in them. He's inching his way closer as we speak. He's a Bears beat writer for A to Z Sports. You can find him on Twitter at A_Schlaw. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn Sierra Sports, Cole Noble. Cole, what's up, Papa? Good morning.
Good morning, Shawn. Thanks for having me. I'm glad it's training camp time is all about moving up the totem pole, so I'm glad to hear I'm moving up your totem pole. Hopefully that continues throughout the rest of camp.
No diddy. You were saying, let's get that out of the way right off the bat. No diddy. We got some unfortunate news already, man. Did you hear that as well? Kobe Bryant was injured during one-on-ones and got taken off to the side. Have you heard anything else?
That's a tough injury. I know that a couple trainers were looking at him, it sounded like, and then they brought him out on the cart, took him off the far field. Adam Hogue said that since it's on the far field, it wasn't a surprise to see the cart come out, but based on his reactions, I mean, Kobe slammed his helmet after the play, and the reporter said he looked emotional, so that part's a little bit concerning. And then the trainer came back out, was talking with Ryan Poles on the sideline on the side of the field. So we'll see what happens. The unfortunate parts that Ben talked to the reporters ahead of practice. I know some teams are different, like the Panthers, who had a lot of cart issues. The first 2 weeks of training camp for the Carolina Panthers. Dave Canales talks to reporters after practice, so we can kind of give like an updated response after practice. But unfortunately, we're not going to get that kind of luxury with Kobe Bryant in this injury because we've already heard from Ben this morning. I don't think he's going to come back out after practice to get an update. So it's going to be until the team has an update on social media, it sounds like, or one of the national reporters tweets something out. But hoping for the best. You don't want to assume the worst, but always want to hope for the best in this kind of situation.
Yeah, I'm just reading a tweet right now where he says, he was clearly emotional as he got in the cart under his own power. I'll caution you that they're on a far field, so a cart is not unusual, but the fact that he was so emotional is concerning. Yeah, that's because, athletes, we know our bodies, and but again, let's get the final determination before we start cussing up a storm. I know I gotta woosah, rub my earlobes because
Yeah,
I was really looking forward to that combination of Kobe Bryant and Adam Thieneman back there in that secondary, really playing a lot of games. And Dennis Allen has got to be like, son of a bitch, what do I got to do?
right.
I get productive guys last year, but they're slow, and people exploited our lack of speed. Well, now I got some speed, damn, and now they're getting hurt. So, it's unfortunate, but we'll see. So we'll have more news on Wednesday, after we find out news later today.
And the reporter said Cam Lewis entered the lineup during 11-on-11s for Kobe at safety, and here's the guy working in a nickel for Kyler Gordon as well. And Elijah Hicks is still on the PUP list with that shin injury, so they're looking really thin at safety. I mean, you got Dylan Thieneman now leading that unit. He's a rookie out there still trying to swim, so it's concerning at the safety position. We'll see what the state of his injury is and what moves may be made, here in the next couple of days if they want to bring anyone into the safety position.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on that and monitor that because that's huge. Again, we can only thoughts and prayers goes out to him. So once we find out what exactly happened to Kobe Bryant. So once again, if you're just checking in, Kobe Bryant went down in one-on-ones earlier today. We do not know the extent of the injury. He was visibly frustrated, according to Adam Hogue, his Twitter account, as he got carted off the field. Under his own power, he got on the cart, and it's not uncommon because they're on the far field to have people on a cart, but he cautioned because he was so emotional. That's the cause for concern. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Talk to me. This left tackle spot.
Yep.
How you fired up to see it? Braxton Jones going with the ones. I think they had Karana Magaji with the twos, and then Jedrick Wills with the threes, if I'm not mistaken, as of today.
Yeah, they've been rotating him a little bit. Braxton, as I expected, started out training camp with the ones. I mean, he was with the ones the majority of the offseason program back in the spring. And it made sense. I mean, he was the 4-year starter returning. He knows the offense the most out of the 3 guys that they got competing for that spot. But it got a little bit of interesting on, I think it was Friday when they reported Karan was with the ones, and everyone's like, oh, watch out. Like the 3rd-round pick, Shawn making some noise. Developmental guy, and he's finally getting in there with the ones. But it seemed like it was just more of a rotational thing than like him earning the first-team reps. They're kind of letting each guy get first-team reps, get work next to Joe Thuney to their right, work with Caleb Williams and that starting offensive line, because it's good for everybody to get those kind of reps, especially early in camp. And, in that same wave of conversation, Jedrick Wills was with the ones on Saturday. So today's where things really heat up, though, because I think you mentioned it. This is the first day with pads on. They're fully pads today.
Fully pads tomorrow.
And then on Thursday as well. So this is when the training camp battle really starts to heat up in the trenches. So we'll see how it looks. It looks like I was seeing some reports Austin Booker beat Braxton Jones on 1 rep and pushed him on the ground, but the next rep or a couple reps later, Braxton Jones got the better of Austin Booker, so he bounced back. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a revolving door throughout, just like it was last year. It doesn't seem like Ben's eager to name a starter that quick, and he wants to see these 3 guys battle it out just like he did last year.
Yeah, and that's smart. You don't name a starter, you fight it out. You know what? And the one thing coaches always say, he goes, I don't determine who starts, the players do. And that's what they're going to do. And that's a great thing. And, it's a good thing for Braxton. And I'm anxious to see how well he plays, because even though he was never really bottom heavy, never had big legs, big ass, big thighs to anchor, he was still more than serviceable. And especially on the runs. And last year, one of his biggest things, his biggest traits, his biggest attributes is his athleticism. And so when he was hurt, he couldn't, he couldn't anchor, which wasn't one of his strong points to begin with. He couldn't get out and move, and he couldn't explode off of that left ankle. So now he's healthy. He's gained some mass. He's still never going to be one of those guys with a big bottom. He's not in his DNA. But he's stronger and more explosive. So that's going to be good for him to win the job. If he wins that job, do you see the Bears possibly extending him?
It would have to. I would see him get another year. Yeah, if he wins the job and holds it throughout the majority of the season, we'll see at what point does Ozzie Trapilo come back. Does he make a midseason return or maybe a late season return, and kind of enter this conversation as well? Once they see, I don't want them to rush Ozzie Trapilo back, but I mean, if Braxton's not looking good, Jedrick's not looking good, then like maybe okay, when you get to October, November, December, and like okay, Ozzie's practicing it again, he's looking all right, we can get him back out there, kind of thing. But if Braxton's holding down the job throughout the majority of the rest of training camp and throughout the regular season, yeah, I could see them tacking on years, just because even if he is, maybe not the long-term guy, he's still serviceable, like you said, enough now to where you still have some competition for Ozzie next year. Because I don't think Ozzie showed enough to be the surefire long-term solution, especially now that he has, a patellar tendon injury he's coming back from. So yeah, I think if Braxton does a good enough job, you definitely could work out a deal for him. And honestly, he should be playing for a bigger deal too. He saw the market and what it looked like for himself before coming back to the Bears on a pretty modest deal. So he wants one of those big offensive tackle deals. If it's not in Chicago, it could be elsewhere if he has a good season.
I was saying the other day, I said, I think the most ideal situation would be, in my opinion, for me, what I would love to see, and not that I wish injury on a guy, because I really don't like to see players injured, but like if Braxton Jones wins the job, right, and then has like a soft tissue injury or something, and he can't go, and then Jedrick Wills comes in and really shows his first round talent and ability, and he's going to be cheaper than Braxton Jones because remember he sat out all of last year. Braxton Jones is going to get calls. Braxton, you mentioned it. Braxton Jones, there's going to be a line of suitors calling for that dude, especially run heavy teams, because that dude can get out and move, as we saw, as I constantly see on Twitter, that block against Green Bay where he just pulls off and literally just drops 33, just makes him do a cartwheel as DeAndre Swift scores a touchdown. So Braxton Jones is not going to be hurting if it's not here in Chicago. That's for sure. And he might get one of those deals. Remember Charles Leno got a crazy deal, and he was the revolving door at left tackle. So Braxton Jones, I think, is a much better guy and in a much better left tackle. So, good luck to him. I hope him. I just really want I hope Jedrick Wills can get that job at some point and really just kind of take it and run with it. I want a first round left tackle to protect our quarterback, but we will see how it plays out.
Yeah, and Ben was high on Jedrick today, talking to the media. He said that Jedrick was a powerful guy from what he's able to see so far. I mean, they haven't been pads on until today, and he said over the next few days he's excited to see what Jedrick Wills can showcase in terms of his full power now that he's back and healthy. I mean, this is a reclamation project for him too. Like you said, former first-round pick, dealt with injuries, took a year out of football. He's looking to revitalize himself here in Chicago, and he's not just trying to look to stay on the bench for the whole season and then go out in free agency again next year. He wants to compete for a starting job too. And now that pads are on, he can show like really what he can prove to show now that he's powerful, healthy, pads are on, and I'm excited to see what he looks like the rest of the week.
Yeah, I am too. I really, really am. That's huge. Speaking of running backs, Calvin Ungai has not been in camp. He's there today. He's in pads. According to a couple of people I saw on Twitter, he's in pads. He's doing drills. Yep. Your thoughts on Calvin Ungai not being in camp to this point, but being there today?
Yeah, it's a great encouraging sign, especially for a day with a lot of discouraging signs. It was great to see Monangai back out there, and no one knew like what was going on with him. He missed 3 straight days. No one was asking the questions that need to be asked of the second-year running back of where he is, because he was a big part of this offense last year, and it was concerning not seeing him out in the field with no idea of what it was. But Ben said this morning, soft tissue injury, that should be short-term, and I mean, minutes later he was out in the field. I mean, practicing, he was getting handoffs from Caleb Williams, so that was great to see. in terms of the rest of the backfield, I'm excited to see what it looks like. Because Ben Johnson did say they're going to be a little bit cautious throughout camp with DeAndre Swift to make sure he's ready to go for a full 17-game season. So I think that's going to extend to joint practices, and in the preseason we'll get more Monangai work, more Salvin Ahmed, who was the running back 2 while Monangai was injured. He's looking to bounce back after a brutal injury he suffered last year in training camp with the Colts, an ankle injury that had him miss the entire season. And he's got, history with Coach Eric Stoodsville, Salvin Ahmed does. So I'm excited to see him get some carries and see how explosive he is now after that injury. But I mean, Roshan Johnson, time's ticking for him, former 4th-round pick.
I know.
I
saw him still there. I'm like, I thought you were gone, bro.
Yeah, time's ticking for him. I mean, if Salvin Ahmed secures that RB3 job, it might be the end of Roshan Johnson's time in Chicago. But preseason's going to be fun. I mean, if they don't use Swift that much in the preseason, they got a lot of really good backs. I mean, Ian Wheeler in the past looked great in the preseason. Should have earned a spot if he didn't have the ACL injury.
Right.
So Brayton Brown last year was good in the preseason, and he came in as a practice squad guy and did good when his number was called. So I'm ready to see how these backs look in preseason. That's what I'm always excited about.
Yeah, Britton Brown was my favorite back. I thought he was the best of the bunch. I loved his vision, his ability to hit the hole, his ability to get out and go, and I like him. And hopefully he can make he can make an impact. Coming back a year later, like you mentioned earlier, he knows the offense now too.
Yep,
he knows the offense. He's more comfortable in it, and we'll see. But that running back position is going to be key because you do need a third one. Remember last year DeAndre Swift went down, and luckily Monangai, who had been a workhorse at Rutgers, so that was nothing new to him to get 25, 27 carries, which I love personally as a former running back. But you just don't want to have that. I mean, you could, but in today's NFL, you don't have that happen. A guy who's 25 touches a game, you try and split it up 12, 15 carries, and one guy 10, 15 to the other guy. So we definitely would need a second back. We would like a second back, but personally, I'm like, let those guys stay in there. What's the big deal? Why can't he stay in for 25 carries and pass pro and everything? Running back did it before. I don't understand why they can't do it now. So give me your thoughts. No DJ. DJ is being loved like crazy up in Buffalo, and the wide receivers are extremely talented. How do you see that group coming together this year?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about who's the wide receiver 1 between Luther Burden III and then Roma Dunze to fill that DJ Moore void as the top pass catcher of that wide receiver room. It's like both. I don't think it's one or the other. It might be both. I mean, Roma Dunze we know has a great connection with Caleb Williams. He cleared up his comments about the new normal with the foot injury. I mean, he looks great out there. Roma Dunze looks like normal Roma Dunze. He had a nice contested catch the other day in practice where was bending away, stretching his frame and made a nice grab. So he's getting better in that regard. I mean, outside the injuries, the contested catches were a big issue with Roma Dunze last year too, even when he came back in the playoffs and late in the season. So we're excited to see him better in that role. And then Luther Burden, man, the rocket ship is on his back to absolutely take off in year 2. I mean, Ben Johnson's talked about that Burden just has that internal desire to be the greatest out there, the greatest on the field every time he steps foot. And you see that. Like when he has the ball in his hands, he feels invincible. Like that no one can touch him, no one can bring him down. He's bouncing off everybody. He's got the fire in him. So the more touches they can get Luther Burden, I think the better. I mean, he's an absolute stud, and he's going to continue to get great and do great things. But how about Khalif Raymond? I think he's going to be a real factor in this offense. He looked great.
My alma mater.
Yeah, he looked great. He absolutely just split the coverage between Tyreek Stevenson and Kobe Bryant the other day on like a 54-yard touchdown. And Caleb Williams hit him like perfectly in stride. I mean, we know Caleb Williams has a rocket arm, and he's got that speed. Xavier Thomas has the speed too. I mean, how much does Xavier Thomas, the rookie, get involved in the offense? There was a play Saturday. Xavier Thomas caught a bubble with the second-team offense and turned that into a big gain off a screen pass. So, I mean, Jade Walker's a beast too. I mean, we know Jade can be a stud.
Yeah.
So I think their wide receiver room is really exciting, and they got a lot of young guys and then a veteran now in there in Khalif Raymond, who I think is going to be a lot better version of Alameda Zacchaeus from what they had last year.
I hope so, and I hope there's a lot of, I hope a lot. We have a more, we have a bigger. We keep an extra receiver, and You know,
Yeah.
you got obviously going to have to do work on special teams, which, you know, that's fine. But, you know, Jade Walker had some really big catches for us last year. Okay. And he's feeling himself. He's feeling comfortable and confident in this new offense. You know, I can't wait to see Xavier Thomas. You know, I can't wait to see how Ben it just puts him in. And think of the crazy. I know I thought of the crazy so many different ways that Ben can use him. Can you imagine what Ben thinks? It's going to be insane the amount of ways that this guy can get used and deployed, and it's going to be nothing but just phenomenal things for the Bears and a freaking headache for defensive coordinators week in and week out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they said they're feeding Xavier Thomas through a fire hose right now of anything that they can put on his plate and just see how much he can eat, pretty much. And we haven't seen him out of the backfield yet. Courtney Cronin mentioned, like, is he like the new version of Jahmyr Gibbs for Ben Johnson's offense? We still haven't seen him out of the backfield, and that is interesting to me. I don't think it's because he can't do it. I think it's because Ben Johnson doesn't want to show it because he knows reporters are there, he knows fans are there in training camp. But eventually, he's going to get in the backfield. I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Yeah, and that's most likely what it is because Ben definitely doesn't want to show his hand. And you know, if you're a defensive coordinator, that's one thing you're going to have to plan for, but you don't know exactly how it's going to look because he's not showing it. So I'm excited to see. Ben's always he's always got a trick or two up his sleeve, which is what we like and what we're not used to. We're not used to a great offensive mind, you know, understanding how to build, how to set plays up for later in the season, and this is really foreign to Bears fans. So we have to understand just because we're not seeing it doesn't mean it's not in the playbook, or doesn't mean it won't be in the playbook.
Yeah, I think he was going to be similar to how Luther Burden was early in the season, where he's like an 8 to 12 snap guy on offense to where they're designing plays for him when he gets on the field. So, like you said, defensive coordinators, when they see 81 go on the field, they better be watching because the ball is probably going to go his way because he's not going to be, you know, a starter out there every single down. But when he gets out there, Ben's probably going to use him. He's not just putting him out there to be a decoy.
Yeah, and for me, I'm excited because I want to see the Bears do some things that were done to the Bears. You know, for example, the Christian Watson running away from C.J. Garner-Johnson last year, just on a short cross route, and he just ran away from him and up the sideline for a touchdown. I want that for us. And we have the guys now to do that. And it's such a simple throw, and it's not a big thing. And the DBs on the opposite side have their backs turned because they're running with their receivers, and Xavier Thomas or Khalif Raymond or someone is trailing them with the ball, gaining yardage. I want to see that. I want to see, you know, it's good to have this offensive mind who's going to exploit defenses, and I just can't wait because now they're comfortable. You know, I was a little annoyed with the way a lot of people were like, "Oh my God, kid, the offense is so far ahead of the defense." I'm like, well, yeah, they're in the second year of their offense. They're not learning it, and it just made just a little too much exaggeration on how smooth the offense is. Because if the offense wasn't smooth, then they're complaining. Well, why are they doing it? They had a whole year to play 2 playoff games. It's like you can't be happy with some of my colleagues. It's frustrating, but nonetheless, I'm excited for that. Let's go to the other side of the ball. All right. Well, we just had some bad news with Kobe Bryant now. What do you think about our defensive line? All right. Grady Jarrett is back. We signed Big Nev. Contract year for GervonDexter. Your thoughts on that defensive line? They got to produce, and if they do, who do you think is going to be the one that's producing?
Yeah, I think Grady Jarrett's going to have a bounce back year. He was dealing with a knee injury for most of the year last year that really didn't get talked about enough of what he was actually going through, and he kind of touched on that a little bit last week when he talked to the media. So he's eager to prove his worth. I mean, they signed him to a big contract, and the same goes for Dayo Odingbo. I'm shocked that Odingbo was out there back at minicamp and continues to be out there at training camp. Was shocked he was not on the PUP list. A guy coming off of a torn Achilles. I know that it's not, you know, apples and oranges with him and Kyler Gordon, but you know, those inside the building have to be looking at Dayo Odingbo and saying, like, I can't believe this guy's out here off the edge. Now he's not with the starters. Austin Booker, I mean, he looks great. all the reports coming out right now, he was beating Karan Amagaji. Like today, he was beating Braxton Jones. He's beating everybody he put in front of Austin Booker. So he's in for a big year 3 as well. I'm excited to see him. But yeah, on the interior, you're banking on a bounce back year from Grady Jarrett. Gervon Dexter has been productive. I'll give him that, but it's a weird kind of production because it's not production really when you need it. It's like second quarter production on like a second down, and then is a non-factor on third down. That kind of thing has pretty much been the first 3 years of Gervon Dexter's career. So this is the year they need him to prove it. There was already rumors back at the combine of whether or not Gervon Dexter is going to get trade offers or if the Bears are going to think about flipping him maybe before his contract year. But he's still in the building right now, and he's saying the same 3 things he said all of the last 2 years about wanting to get better, wanting to be more consistent. He's going to improve his get off, be more productive, all those things. So it's a lot of talk, but you need a lot more action out of Gervon Dexter before you think about giving him another contract. Because right now, the only one getting a contract in that draft class is Darnell Wright, which even that's still dragging on longer than I even expected that to. But
should, yeah.
With the defensive line, Jordan Vandenberg, I'm excited to see how quickly the rookie gets involved. I mean, if we don't see Grady Jarrett improve or Gervon Dexter improve, you're not really going to take those two out of a starting lineup per se. But I mean, Jordan Vandenberg could start eating some snaps, and the same with Big Neville Gallimore as well, if those two start impressing more than the 2 starters do.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the Vanilla Gorilla, Jordan Vandenberg, see him go to work. He's got a motor that just doesn't stop. Very similar to Austin Booker. And how fast can you get accustomed to NFL linemen? You're not going against. I know you went to a Power 5 conference, but there's a big difference between college and professional offensive linemen. And if that motor can keep going and he can learn some moves and some counter moves to go along with that motor that doesn't stop, then I think he's got a good chance to make it. And I'm anxious to see if he can do that. Talk to me about the ends. Are you concerned about the ends? Dio coming off the injury, Austin Booker still showed improvement. It wasn't a huge jump from his first year, but he still improved. And then you still got Montez Sweat, Mr. Double. Everyone talks about double-digit sacks and what a great year it was. And I don't feel the same way. But your thoughts on the defensive ends?
Yeah, it's a big prove-it year for them. We just saw Jadeveon Clowney, the latest top end, go off the market, going back to the Houston Texans this weekend. So another one off the market that's not going to Chicago. So they're just, going status quo. The guys we have in the building are the guys we have in the building. And they said they want to see what they look like. And this is the week they finally get to do that. The pads are on. Like I said, Austin Booker already looked good today on Monday based on the reports and practice. Montez Sweat, we'll see what he can do. They're, again, like you said, and they've said good things about Montez Sweat, but I feel the same way. If you're paying him to be a top 10 edge rusher, you need to be an impact player that can take the game over. And there's only one game last year I feel like he really took a game over and won a game for him on defense. And I think it was the Bengals game. He had a big sack against Joe Flacco late in that game. But that's what you're paying him to be, a closer on that defensive line. And we haven't seen that from Montez Sweat. You're paying Deo Adingbo a lot of money to do a lot more than he did last year. And yeah, he had the injury and it was unfortunate, but even before then, he only had 1 sack in like 8 games, I think it was. He got hurt week 9. So yeah, you want a lot more production out of him for sure. But Austin Booker I think he's the reason that no one's been signed yet. It's because they don't want to take any opportunities away from Booker shining and a potential breakout player in year 3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for Booker. I really think he's going to come out of the shadows, so to speak, and really turn into that top-notch pass rusher that they've been wanting. And man, that's great for them, great for him, great for them, because he's young. We love his motor, we love his relentlessness, and if we could have one dude like that, and see even that, if he doesn't get a lot of sacks, but he gets a lot of pressures, and Montez Sweat gets more sacks, well, perfect. Or vice versa. If Montez Sweat has 8 sacks this year, 9 sacks, but has a shitload of pressures, and Booker has more sacks, I'm happy. Because that means that they're putting pressure, giving attention to the money guy, the high price guy, and everybody else is eating because of it. So I can't wait to see this. This is an exciting time. And today was day one of the padded practices. So we keep getting reports from people who are out there. I love it. I cannot wait. August 15th is this is the 15th, the first preseason game, and it's less than 2 weeks away, man. Less than 2 weeks away. How are you? What about Ben Johnson? How can I put this? How are you expecting Ben to be this year? More the same, or do you want a little more creativity? Do you want more running, or how do you want Ben to proceed this year? Because a lot of times you have a good season, it's not just the players who have a chance to get big-headed. It happens to coaches as well. How do you think Ben approaches this season?
Yeah, I think he's had a great mindset with what the team's expecting, the team mindset and their mentality going in this year. And, the players that can get better and the ways they can do that, Caleb especially. But I think he's just as critical as himself, even if he doesn't express that externally and maybe keeps that closer to the chest of how he can get better. They've asked him before in the media room of, what can you do better as a coach? I know he doesn't want to shy away from the fourth down conversions, even though they weren't as successful in that last year with how often they did it. That's his MO. He's not going to be shying away from fourth down aggressiveness. They're going to keep that the same. But I do think that there are some tendencies that, got away from him. I mean, he, really honed in on the end of second half, 2-minute drills going into halftime, how bad they were at that last year and how that's an emphasis this year. And I think overall, I don't know if he's going to be a lot more creative per se. I mean, he's going to lean into more 12, 13 personnel as the modern offense is going. But I have no issue with, the way Ben Johnson's running this team right now. I mean, he talked about it last week. He's leaning into the fact that they're the number one regression team in the league. Everyone's doubting them and preying on their downfall in 2026. He's already putting that on the bulletin board and all those tweets and comments that people are making on national TV about the Bears. So I think he's got the right headspace. I don't think he's too cocky by any means. And he's just, putting this team on the right path in the right direction of where they need to go.
I think I agree with you on that one. He's grounded. He's well grounded, and he doesn't seem to me to have gotten full of himself, which I'm really happy about. I feel Nagy kind of got full of himself.
I think Ben sounded more full of himself during his introductory press conference than he did, first press conference at training camp in year 2. I mean, back in year 1, he was talking about Matt LaFleur beating him twice a year and waking up this sleeping giant in Chicago. He sounded very full of himself last year, and this year he's been a lot more grounded. So I thought that was more encouraging.
Yeah, I agree. And then let's talk Caleb again, man. I'm so excited for this young man. I'm so excited. The kid's got so many freaking weapons. I mean, he's got even the second and third and fourth string wide receivers. You talked about Jade Walker, huge catches. All right, to go along with Khalif Raymond, veteran. To go along with Roma Dunze. To go along with Luther Burden. To go along with Colson Loveland. To go along with Cole Kmet. To go along with DeAndre Swift coming out of the backfield. The amount of weapons that he has is almost embarrassing.
Yeah.
Do you think he learns to hit the open receiver, have that be his favorite receiver, and not force things? Because he started to do that a lot last year. Once Roma Dunze got hurt, he had to spread the ball around because his favorite target, a la Jay Cutler to Brandon Marshall, would force it in with 4 people around him. He couldn't do that, and he started spreading it around. Do you think he's going to be more likely to do that now, even though Rome's healthy? And if he does, how crazy of a season do you think he can have if he gets to that point?
Yeah, I think he will. I think that's something they've been harping on, getting a runner's ball out there, more catchable ball to everybody. And Ben Johnson talked about, and Caleb, how they've been adamant this year about the pre-snap read, knowing where you're going pre-snap based on the coverage, because it's a read-based offense. You're not looking at, okay, forget the play like Aaron Rodgers, like we got Devontae one-on-one on the left side, we're just throwing it up to Devontae. It's not like that. Him and Adunze may have been like that in the past. This is the read of the offense. This is the read of the play. You need to understand it pre-snap, If it's not there, check, go to your next play, check, go to like they're gonna have like an arsenal of plays that they can, filter between pre-snap. So that's gonna be a lot more confident for him in year 2 of understanding that pre-snap and where to go with the football. And again, the big thing is throwing a catchable ball, getting the ball in his hands, a runner's ball. I can't remember what the game was, but I'm sure you remember it better than me. When he tried to hit Alameda Zacchaeus, they were backed up in their end zone, and it would have been like a 90-yard touchdown to Zacchaeus where he was going from right to left and on a drag route. And if he just hit that, man, he would have been off to the races. So
yeah, because the thing I said earlier, DBs are trailing the outside receivers on the other side and the left side because he was going right to left. They're trailing their receivers and their backs were turned, and he literally could have been running behind the DBs with the ball in his hand. All he had to do was hit them, and he missed them. And
like plays like that, he's easily over 4,000 yards. And he gets to that territory. Yeah, he breaks the record. First Bears quarterback, 4,000 yards, breaks the known single season record. And I think that's attainable in 2026. I really do. MVP conversation, that's still a little high bar in my mind of where he can get to. But I mean, if he's firing on all cylinders and Colson Loveland's at, 800 yards with 10 touchdowns, Roma Dunze or Burden are close to 1,000 each. Like, yeah, you maybe start talking about Caleb in the MVP conversation. But I think it's a little too early now. But I do think 4,000 yards is easily attainable in year 2 under Ben Johnson.
I do too. Do you think the Bears have a chance to have 3 receivers with 1,000 yards?
That's a high bar. It hasn't been done very many times, especially getting a tight end there too. I think he'd be the first 1,000-yard tight end for the Bears since Mike Ditka if Colson Loveland got there. But they're going to be spreading the ball around a lot. I mean, and I think they're going to be running the ball a lot too. So I mean, that's asking a lot of passing plays and hitting a lot of explosives on those passing plays too. I think if anyone were to get there, it would be Luther, if I were to say. But I do think Colston's going to be the target leader on the team. But I think Burden's going to have a chance to make more explosives happen, making people miss and get to that 1,000-yard mark.
If they do, first of all, Caleb's going to go way over 4,000.
Yeah.
If they have 3 guys with a stack, how important is that to you, and how important is him getting 30 touchdowns to you? Do you think that's feasible for him to do?
I think so. But again, I honestly think it might be more attainable to get 2,000-yard rushers than 3,000-yard receivers. Because we have to remember the offense is built on the ground game. And with Swift and Monangai, they're the tone setters of this entire team. They're going to be eating close to 40 carries a game on the ground. That's the way Ben Johnson wants to run it. I mean, if he can run it 40, 50 times a game, and that's all he has to do, that's, another day in the books, wipe the chalk off the hand, go back in the locker room and smile like they did in the Eagles game. And they're perfectly fine winning that way. But if they want to put the offense on the back of Caleb Williams this year and go full out and, like they did in Detroit and, put the ball in Jared Goff's hands and say, just go, cook everyone every single week. Yeah. 30 touchdowns, 40 for 4,000 passing yards. Yeah, that's attainable for Caleb if they go that direction.
Well, here's the craziest thing. I think they're going to have 3, 4, and it might not be this year. It may be a year or two. They're going to have 3,000-yard receivers and 1,000-yard rusher, maybe close to two 1,000-yard rushers, because he leans on the run. We know that, but it doesn't take a lot. You got a Luther Burden who's explosive. You have a Roma Dunze who's explosive. You have a Xavier Thomas who's explosive. You have a Khalif Raymond who's explosive. You have a lot of guys who are extremely explosive, and it can be 5 catches, 125 yards. You know what I mean? And they only throw the ball 18 times, but this guy had 5 catches for $125 and a tutty. You know what I mean? And you still got 200, the running. So this offense, as we see it, could be an unbelievable. How high do you think this offense can get, ranked this year and moving forward?
Yeah, so they were already the NFC's leading rushing team last year. I think there's a shot they could be the NFL's leading rushing team. I think it was the Bills were ahead of them. Maybe the Ravens were the 2 teams ahead of them, which are 2 tough rushing offenses. But I mean, Caleb Williams, he can add on with his legs as well. And he dropped 10 to 15 pounds. Already was one of the fastest quarterbacks according to Next Gen Stats last year on multiple different carries. So I think Caleb Williams can add to that total. Again, it's tough to compete. I mean, Declan Doyle is bringing a similar offense over to Baltimore with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. So, and you got Joe Brady running the offense, or running the entire team now, but his offense in Buffalo with Josh Allen and James Cook. So it'll be tough to have NFL's top rushing offense, but NFC's tough rushing offense is definitely attainable for second year. I could see them getting the NFL's top nod. But I mean, we're talking about a top 5, top 3 scoring offense too, as well. I think they're going to emphasize trying to convert more of these drives into touchdowns and really start dominating teams like they want to do last year.
I think they have a sense of unfinished business.
Yep.
I feel that they realized they had the Rams. They had possession of the ball. All right, that key interception was huge. I see Caleb. I mean, also Caleb missed a Calvin on guy who was open underneath. And when we talk about Ben going over all the incompletions that Caleb had, those are the things that I want to see Caleb get better at. All right, we don't got to go big game hunting every time. We don't, especially in a playoff situation where you have that dude, you got that guy and Calvin Nunn guy. The guy hasn't fumbled since 3rd grade. All right, Jesus Christ, he's gonna get yards. He pounds the ball. He falls forward. All right, so maybe it'd take you 2 or 3 plays to get the amount of yards you had for DJ on that play. The 20 or 30 yards, but then make it take 2 or 3 plays. If he does, I'm telling you, if he does that, Cole, this is going to be super, super scary for defensive coordinators and unbelievably exciting for us. You know what's crazy? If Caleb gets boring, this team's going to go crazy. If he hits those boop, boop, boop. Here, Khalif, you get it and run. Xavier, you get it and run. Rome, you get it and run. Luther, you get it and run. Colston, you get it and run. If he gets boring, dude, I'm going to ask him, would you think that he has a possibility, maybe not this year, but in his career, of hitting 5,000 yards, a la Dan Marino?
Yeah, I don't. Again, they want to run so much, so that's hard to say. I mean, you don't see it as often. I mean, it's not like 2018 when Patrick Mahomes is, his first year throwing for 5,000 yards and going absolutely insane. Really, not that many players have hit it since then.
But don't forget, Patrick Mahomes had the NFL's leading rusher in Kareem Hunt when he, you know what I mean? So
that is true.
It is
I mean,
possible.
it is. It's a lot of passes that they'll have to do, but as exciting as the offense can be, I'm still worried a little bit about the defense, especially with Kobe's injury now. If it's significantly major, I don't want it to be a season like a full season of like the 49ers game last year, a 38-42 loss, where the offense looks incredible and they're firing on all cylinders, but it's not enough. I mean, that's my worst case scenario for this season, is that the offense goes nuclear, but the defense doesn't live up their end of the bargain. And then it comes back to bite them playoff time when they got to play the Rams again or the Seahawks. That can be where things get really challenging. So we'll see what this injury is for Kobe. It would be a big loss, and that would definitely put the defense back a little bit. But I want to see more out of this defense. We know the offense is exciting. We know Ben Johnson's crazy. They got weapons. Caleb's turning the corner now as a top 5 quarterback, top 10 quarterback in the NFL. So we know that's exciting. But we can talk about that all day long. But the defense, that's the real kicker, I think, in 2026.
Right, and the cool part about the defense, the thing that they may, I'm sure they even realize, they're going up against one of the best offenses in the NFL every single day. So they can only get better. The old saying, iron sharpens iron, and that's going to help them as this season goes along. So I think this defense, barring any crazy injury, and although we had one today, it is going to benefit big time from facing this offense day in and day out. Hey, Cole, great stuff, buddy. As always, do me a favor before you go. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yeah, absolutely. A2ZSports.com. You can follow me on Twitter as well, A2Z_Slaw. We'll have all the articles there throughout the week. Training camp, big week with pads on. Also today, we had the games pop up on A2Z Sports. We have different games. You can go head-to-head. There's over-under games. There's, trivia games for the Bears for different teams as well. So if you want to test out your Bears knowledge, you can go to A2ZSports.com and go over to the games tab because those launched today. And all of our guys here at A to Z are really excited about that, launching on the website this year.
What do you mean games?
Yeah, so you go to azsports.com, and then now at the top there's daily games. So there's beat the clock, 10 questions in 60 seconds.
Okay.
Higher, lower, build the best QB wide receiver trio. Where do they go to college? Trivia. So different trivia games and more coming out, but we unleashed the first 5 games on there. So, I mean, maybe we can get together one day and go to head to head on some Bears trivia on a show. That could be a lot of fun.
Dude, that sounds really, really cool. I think my people would love it. And guys, make sure you check out it's A2Z.com, A2Zsports.com.
A2Zsports.com. Yep.
Guys, go check it out. When we get off the air, I will go check it out and see it, and that could be something that we do. It's because it's right off the hip. It sounds great. It sounds cool. It's going, sharing the screen and doing it on a show. That sounds really, really cool. Hats off to whoever the hell thought of that concept, because that's going to drive people to your site. Hats off
Absolutely.
to that dude. But cool. Find them at A2Zsports.com. Check out those games, and it could be one of your go-to sites just for football and other activities, guys. So go check it out. Cole, again, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. We will be in touch soon. Bear the freak down, baby. Bear down.
Appreciate it, Shawn. Bear down. Enjoy the rest of camp.
All right, now. Guys, that's Cole Noble from A to Z Sports. And check it out, man. A2Zsports.com, and go check out the games he's talking about, because that piqued my interest. I piqued my interest. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, already had a little setback today for the Bears. If you haven't heard, Kobe Bryant was carted off the field. He was visibly upset, according to Adam Hogue. He was visibly upset. So I don't know if it's because I don't know if he knows his body and he realizes it's something serious or what. We will find out later today. I'm sure we'll find out what happened to him. But the high-priced free agent Kobe Bryant, safety from the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, goes down today. Someone else said Terrell Smith. I did not see anyone. I didn't see anyone talk about it in their tweets. So let's see. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody. This is just about Kobe Bryant. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Terrell Lewis. Someone put Terrell Lewis. Terrell Smith. That's Lewis. Terrell Smith. Rick, my man Rick Gonzalez checking in. What's up, Pop? I said Terrell Smith also went down today. FGB. Who did you see that from, Rick? Someone tweeted. Just want to confirm it and check it out. All right, Foster Covers checking in. What's up, buddy? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support and love. But yeah, so sucks about Kobe Bryant. I'm excited about the offense. Defense had a good day yesterday. I want to see this offense continue to grow. Continue to grow. This is going to be a little different for us as Bear fans because we are used to defense and a good running game. Well, guess what? We still have the good running game. We also got a really good passing game. And defense isn't up to the standard that we're used to. Although last year they had a lot of takeaways. Okay, statistically they weren't a good defense, but they had a lot of takeaways, which really destroyed a lot of drives from opponents as opponents got deeper. The Bears gave up a lot of yards. They weren't very good against the run. They just glossed over it with all the turnovers or takeaways that they had. So if they can be more fundamentally sound and better, middle of the pack, I'm not asking for a top 5 defense. Just give me middle of the pack defense. This year is going to be even more special than last year. The offensive chemistry and the offensive chemistry and connection is going to be so much better, which is why everyone's talking about the offense looking light years ahead of the defense. It happens. It happens. And let's not forget that Caleb Williams had Colson Loveland, Roma Dunze, Luther Burden, Jade Walker. Remember, he had all those guys in LA. So they were working on their routes. They're working on their connection. They're working on their chemistry. This offense is going to be a surprise for many people in the NFL. I asked Cole if he could ever see Caleb getting 5,000 yards. And I see him getting that. Again, and it's not about the amount of times you throw the ball. Okay, it's not. It's about getting your receivers in the right spot, hitting those throws. Remember what I just talked about, what I want from the Bears. Okay? Hitting Xavier Thomas on a crossing route, running away from his nickel corner or linebacker up the opposite sideline for a tutty. All right? 40, 50, 60 yards, whatever it is. I want to see those things. Caleb's got to get the ball to his people and got to get it to them soon. And if he does, it'll be a lot of points. Hey, I can guarantee if that happens, we will all know all the words to bear down Chicago Bears. Because that'll be playing so damn much, we'll all learn the words for sure. Hey, listen. Great stuff. Great stuff with Cole Noble today. I want to thank him for coming on from A to Z Sports, talking Bears football with your boy. I also want to thank you guys. This chat was jumping as usual. All right. I appreciate it. Hey, listen, don't wait. Go to SportsZoneChicago.com. Get your Bears t-shirts, Bears Victory Monday t-shirts, Sports Zone Chicago hats, hoodies, quarter zips, t-shirts. Get your Cigar Fanatic t-shirts. Get your Coaching Matters t-shirts. And, of course, get your FGB hats, t-shirts, and hoodies. All right. Order them now. You don't want to be late. Get it ahead of time. And rock it. Don't forget, we also have the Good, Better, Best t-shirts and hoodies, and of course, the FGB t-shirt, hoodies, and hats. Listen, guys, I hope you had a great weekend. Cornelius, again, happy birthday, my friend. I appreciate the love and the support you show me. As I said, I hope you have you had a great birthday, and I hope you guys have a great day. It's going to be, what's temperature today? Talk about a beautiful Chicago day. 81 degrees. Meet up. I'm telling you, baby, meet up. Lunch, brunch, dinner, breakfast, happy hour, drinks. Let your loved ones know you love them, because tomorrow is promised to no one. Okay, we just did the Farouk workout on Saturday. Okay, for one of my buddies from CrossFit Warehouse who just passed away the week before. All right. Make sure that you're reaching out to your people. I know we're all busy. We all got crazy shit going on. Make time. Make time. Wow, is that what it was? Let me see. Let's see. I don't doubt you. I just want to see it for myself. So, Rough Love 37 says Kobe Bryant tore his ACLs out for the year. Well, we'll see. Again, I don't doubt you. I just need to confirm before I put it out there and say, oh, this is what happened. But, man, if that's true, you know, that sucks. That explains why he was so visibly upset. Because he knew. Damn, that sucks. Damn, that sucks. Wow. Yeah, she's not. No one's reporting it yet. I know you said you saw it on ESPN, Ralph. I appreciate the info. Damn. That would really. And Brad Biggs isn't reporting it yet. Okay, yeah, it's a safety. Kobe Bryant and cornerback Terrell Smith both left practice early with the training staff. Okay, and he doesn't say it either. So I'll talk to it. I'll check it out. Damn. Cornelius Squall says, "Well, we were pretty lucky last year, but we'll overcome it." Well, I don't know. We weren't pretty lucky. Remember, T.J. Edwards was out, Tremaine Edmonds was out, Jalen Johnson was out, a whole bunch of people. Terrell Smith. We lost for the season. Even Tyreek Stevenson was out. Like we weren't lucky. we had our share of injuries. Grady Jarrett, the Dio Dengbo. So we had, yeah. Remember, that's when DeMarco Jackson got the Defensive Player of the Week, NFC Defensive Player of the Week, because he had like 12, 13 tackles. So I don't know about lucky. We were able to overcome it. Now, can we overcome this? Because we don't have safeties. Last year we had safeties. We had veteran safeties. Damn it. I'll confirm it. Ralphie, I'll confirm it again. I'm not saying that you're not right. I'm not calling you a liar by any stretch. I'm just saying I need to confirm it before I put it out on my, on my socials and stuff like that. But damn, that hurts. Here we go. Let's see if they have. No, they don't have. No, okay. All right. Well, the trade deadline is today, guys, so we're going to find out what our teams do. Are the White Sox done making moves? Are the Cubs done making moves? We're going to find out. We will find out. And we'll talk about it on Wednesday. Guys, I hope you have a great day. Okay? Hope you guys have a great day. It's going to be beautiful here in the Chi. Low 80s, 81 degrees. Awesome. All right. So from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, guys, I'm your brother SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. You have a phenomenal day, but your boy is out. Oh, don't forget, at 12:15, Lakina and Sydney Brown. Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown are going to give you another 2 hours of Chicago sports talk. Make sure you tune into them later today at 12:15. But for now, your boy is SuperBack. I am out.
Come on, race the race.